Hello everyone, let's start with the Java beginners course. So mainly what is Java? Java is high level object oriented programming language designed to be platform independent. It's widely used for building web applications. So if you are into web development, you should be knowing, you should have heard of Spring or the Spring Boot, right? Spring is a framework that is built on Java, and Spring Boot is built on top of Spring framework. So also the Java is used for building Android apps as well as the enterprise software, right? So what are the prerequisites to start with this one course? So initially you should be having the IDE installed as well as the Java JDK. So for the IDE, I'll show you how to get the IDE. Just open the Chrome and search for IntelliJ download. Come here, click on the first link, right? Let's wait for some time. Yeah. Here, scroll down. You can see we are committed to this one, giving back to the wonderful community, which is why IntelliJ IDEA Community Edition is completely free to use. Just download this one, free version, and open the IDE. I'll be closing and install that one and open the IDE, right? I'll just close this one entirely. For the Java JDK, you have the two options. Just click on this one, new project. Let's wait for some time, and I'll just name this one Java course, right? So you can name this one anything. I'll just name this one for the Java course for the reference. I have given the path. You can give the path anywhere. I'll just save this one on the this one, desktop, right? So the language I have chosen Java, and here build system, I'll be going with the Maven. You can either go with the Gradle as well. So I'll just go with the Maven. JDK, so here either Java JDK, you can download this from here. Just click on download JDK, and I have installed version 17.0.8. So you can either install it from here and select this one JDK file, or if you want to manually install it, right, just open the Chrome, search for Java download. So just click on the second link, right? Let's wait for some time. Yeah, here you can see Java 22, 21 and Java 17 available. See here, JDK development kit 22.0.1, this one. I have been making use of Java 17. So you can come here. If you want to install 22 and 21, you can go ahead and install. For the Java 17, just click here. So I have been making use of the Windows operating system, right? So I'll just click here and download according to the system this time requirement, right? After downloading, I'll just close this one for now. Just come here, select the path, right? That's it. I'll just click on create. Here it says white spaces are not allowed. I'll just remove the space, right? Let me click on create. Let's wait for some time. So yeah, you can see the folder structure, right? Here, source. This one, let me click on here. Let me click on main. I'll just close this file for now. Let me click on Java, and you can see here inside the example, you can see main.java. Let me open this one. So yeah, for now, you can see here, right? You can see org.example, inside that the main. So yeah, let's do one thing. I'll just delete it, let it be. So I'll just create the new Java class, right? Just right click on here and click on new, hover on new and click on Java class, and let me give the name hello world. Let me hit enter, right? I'll just close this one. So let's write the first Java code. For that one, what I'll do here, let me explain this one. Public class hello world. What is this? Basically, we have defined a public class named hello world. Right? Next, what we'll do, we'll define the main method, which is the entry point of the program. So inside this one, let me write public static void main. Let me give string also argument. So what we have done here, this line, so we have defined the main method basically, which is the entry point of the program. Next, let's write the first program, that is nothing but we are printing the hello world to the console by making use of system out println. So I'll just give sout, or let me type this one completely. Let me give system dot out dot print l. So inside this one, let's give hello world, right? So yeah, this is it. Next, to run this program, I'll just come here. Let's click on this one, right? So let's wait for some time. So here you can see hello world. Hooray! We have built the, we have written the first code, right? Hello world. Next, let's continue with the variable as well as the data type. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Previously, we have written the first Java program, right? Hello world. Next, today we'll be continuing with the variables as well as the data types. So what are variables? Variables in the Java store the data of different types, such as whether it may be integers, floating point numbers, characters, and strings, which is very crucial for the dynamic data manipulation. So we'll see this one with the example so you can understand it clearly. So let me come here. Let me right click, hover on new, click on Java class. Right here, I'll be giving the name. Variable example. Right? Just hit enter. Here, this is nothing but we have defined a public class named variable example. Next, we have to define the main method, right? I'll just come here. Let me type public static void main. Inside this one, I'll be giving string as well as arguments. This is nothing but main method. Initially, what we'll do, we'll define the, we'll declare the integer variable named my number and initialize it with the value 5. I'll just give int my number. I'll just take this one 5. So we'll be making use of some variables, right? Next, we'll declare the double variable named my double and initialize it with the value, some value, right? We'll be doing the same with character, char, boolean as well as the string, different data types. I'll just make use of the double. I'll just give the variable named my double and I'll initialize some random value. I'll just give 5.99. So I'll just make use of the char. For the string, I'll just give the variable name my char and I'll just assign the value within the string. For the string, we'll be making use of the double inverted comma or the single inverted comma. So let me make use of the single inverted comma instead. This should work as well, right? So here we had made use of the int and the variable name my number int data type double floating point, this is basically integers. Double is nothing but the floating point integer. This one, character, nothing but the string. We have, for the strings, we will be writing the characters within this thing. Double inverted comma or the single inverted comma. Next, data will be making use of boolean and will be giving the variable name myBool. Let's set this one to true. Boolean value is, we have to make use of either true or false. Next, let me make use of the string. Sorry, do anything wrong here. So yeah, here, wait, this is not taken here. So here, now let me give string my text equals, let me just give hello, right? What we have done, we have declared a string variable named my text and we have initialized that one with the value hello, right? Let's print the variables, right? After this one, I'll just comment this one. Print the variables. So how to print the variables? Let's make use of the system out print, right? I'll just give s out. So why this is not taking? Do I need to print? Let me type instead system dot right. Within this one, what I'll do, I'll just come here. Within this one, I'll just give integer. So after this, what I'll do, let's concatenate and print the integer with the value of my number. What the value we have given here, my number, we have assigned this one to 5, right? So I'll just give my number, right? I'll just copy the same thing 4 more times. I'll just come here, less 4 more time, right? Instead of the integer, I'll just give here double. Also change from my number to my double, this one, right? Just let me copy this one and let me paste it over here. Here, instead of the integer, I'll just give character. Let me come here, copy this one and paste it over here. Also, let me copy this one. Let me delete this one. Instead of integer, I'll just give boolean. Let me paste myBool over here. Finally, instead of integer, let me give string, and here instead of my number, I'll just give the variable name my text, nothing but this one, right? So this is it. What we have done, we have concatenated, we have concatenated and we are printing the integer with the value of my number, double, character, boolean, as well as the string. In short, we are printing the variables, right? I'll just come here and click on, let's run this code, right? Let's wait for some time. So yeah, here it is saying Java distance semicolon except where, yeah, here, right? We have missed the semicolon. Let me minimize this one. Let's run this one again. So yeah, now you can see integer 5, double 5.99, whatever the values that we have given here, character D, boolean true, and string hello. So yeah, everything is working properly. This is it. Next, we'll be going with basic operators, right? This is it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Let's continue with the basic operators, right? Operators in the Java, it performs tasks like arithmetic calculations, logical comparisons, and bitwise operations, enhancing the program functionality as well as the data processing. So I'll be taking the simple example and will be performing some arithmetic calculations rather than logical comparisons and bitwise operations. Logical comparisons and bitwise operations, we'll be doing that one in the future. For now, I'll just take very simple example, right? So let me come here. Let me right click over and click on Java class. I'll just give the name operators example, right? I'll just hit enter. Here, what we have done, we have defined a public class named operators example. Within this one, let's define the main method. I'll just give public static void main, just main. Within this one, I'll just give string args, right? So we have defined the main method. First, what I'll do, I'll just declare an integer variable name a and initialize with the some random value, also a and b. So what I'm doing, I'm declaring an integer variable named a and b, and let's initialize some random value, right? I'll just give int a equals, let me give 10. Also, let me take one more variable, that is b, and let me initialize this one with the value 20. Next, let's perform the arithmetic operations. Within this one, I'll just comment this one and write arithmetic operations, right? So what I'll do, I'll just give the variable name. So here we are adding a and b, and let's store the result in sum. So I'll just take the variable name sum, and I'll just give a plus b. Addition, this is nothing but addition. For the subtraction, I'll just give and just make use of the variable name. Let me give difference, right? I'll just give a minus b. What we are doing here, we are subtracting b from a and storing the result in difference, right? This is one thing. Next, let's multiply a and b and store the result in the product. For that, I'll just come here. Let me give n product equals this one, a into b. Next, let's divide a by b and store the result in the quotient. So I'll be making use of the variable name quotient. I'll just give a by. So finally, so what is wrong here? So yeah, a by b is correct, right? Next, what I'll do, let's calculate the remainder of a divided by b and store the result in the remainder. So I'll just make use of the variable name remainder, and let's make use of the modulo here, a modulo b, modulus b, right? So here what we have performed the arithmetic operation. After performing the arithmetic operations, let's print the result. So I'll just comment this one and give print the result. So let me make use of sout, and here let me give sum, and what we are doing here, we are concatenating and printing the sum with the value of sum. Let's do the same thing with difference. Let's concatenate and print the difference, and let's concatenate and print the product quotient as well as the remainder as well. I'll just come here. Let me copy this one sorry, let me copy this one. Let me hit enter. Let me paste this 4 more times. Instead of the sum, I'll just give difference. Here, this will be product. Instead of the sum, this will be quotient. And the final one, this one will be remainder. So here, instead of the sum, let me copy this one, difference. And instead of sum, here, I'll be replacing this one with difference. So let me copy this one and I'll replace the sum by product. Let me do the same thing to quotient and remainder as well. Replace by quotient and let me replace the sum by finally by remainder, right? Just paste this one over here. So let's run this code. I'll just click on this one. Let's wait for some time. So yeah, now you can see sum 30. So what we have taken the value is 10 and 20. 10 plus 20 is 30. Difference A minus B, nothing but 10 minus 20. We are getting 10. Product 10 into 20, 200. Quotient we are getting 0, as well as the remainder we are getting 10, right? 10 by 20. So remember remainder we are getting 10. So everything is working correctly. This is it. Next, we'll continue with the conditional statements. This is it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Let's continue with the control statements, right? So when I say control statements, I'm speaking of if, else, and switch. So basically, what does control statements do? These statements control the flow of execution based on certain conditions or switches between the different cases if you are making use of switch. So let's see with the example, you'll understand clearly. So what I'll do, I'll just come here, let me right click, hover on new, let me create the new Java class. I'll just name this one conditional example and hit enter, right? Yeah. Here we can see that we have defined a public class named conditional example. So here what I'll do, I'll just define the main method by making use of public static void main. I'll just give here string and argument, right? Next, what I'll do, I'll just declare the integer variable named number and initialize it with particular value. I'll just give int number. I'll just take 10. I'll just give the value 10. Let's make use of the if-else statement, right? I'll just comment over here and I'll give if-else statement just for the reference. So here I'll just give if number is greater than 0. What we are doing here, we are checking if the number is greater than 0. Let me make use of sout, nothing but system out println. I'll just give positive number. So if the number is greater than 0, then we are giving it as positive number. If that is true, we are printing positive number. Else, what we'll do, we'll just give non-positive number. Just make use of sout, non-positive number. So this is it. Next, let's make use of the switch statement. So here, the simple if-else statement, we have made use of the if-else, right? So if number is greater than 0, we are printing positive number. And if the else, we are printing non-positive number, right? Next, let's make use of the switch statement as well. Let me comment this one. So yeah. What I'll do, I'll declare an integer variable named day and initialize it with certain value. I'll just give int day equals 2. Let me make use of the switch day. This one, right? I'm giving the variable name day here. So it's just the start of the switch statement. Initially, let's consider case 1. If the day is 1, then what we'll do? We'll just print Monday, right? Let me give is out here Monday, right? If the day is 2, then Tuesday, day is 3, Wednesday, and so on, right? Or we'll just give other days, something like that. I'll just give here. Let me copy the same thing and make the necessary changes, right? So I'll just come here. Let me paste it here thrice. I'll just make this one case 2, and here I'll just make this one case 3. The final one will be always default here, right? Here, if it is day 2, then I'll make this one Tuesday. If it is day 3, then I'll just make this one Wednesday. If the day is not 1, 2 or 3, I'll just give this one as other day, right? After this one, in the default, we always have to give break, right? What this will do? We are exiting the switch by making use of the break, right? Let me run the code. Let's wait for some time. So here it has to show positive number and to stay. So here I have done a mistake. Basically here after this one, have to give break here as well, right? Here also, let me give break. Sorry. Let me give break here as well. So yeah, now let me run the code again. So now you can see positive number as well as the Tuesday. So why we are getting the positive number? The number we have considered is 10. The condition we have taken here is if number is greater than 0, we are printing the it as positive number. Else we are printing it as non-positive number, right? If I take 10 here and run the code again, it has to give me non-positive number as well as the Tuesday, right? Let's see. This one is showing non-positive number. Also here why this one is showing Tuesday, because integer, the variable day, we have set this one to 2. Case 2 system we are printing Tuesday, right? If I give here any other number rather than 1, 2, 3, let me give 1 for this instance and let's check. It has to print Monday right here, non-positive number as well as the Monday. Let's check. So yeah, we are getting non-positive number as well as the Monday. So yeah, this is it. Next will be going with the loops. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Previously, we had seen what control statements are. Basically, today we'll be continuing with the loops. When I say loops, we'll be going with for loop, while loop, as well as the do while loop. So basically, what does loops do? Loops iterate over the data structures or execute the code repeatedly until certain condition is met. This is very vital for the efficient data processing as well as task automation. We'll see with the example. So what I'll do, I'll just come here. Let me right click, over on new, let me click on Java class. I'll just give the name loops example. Let me hit the enter. Next, what I'll do, I'll just give public static void main. Let me give string also arguments, right? First, what I have done, this defines the public class named loop example. Next, we have defined the main method. Next, let's give the example, or let's continue with the for loop, right? I'll just comment this one for the reference. We'll just give for loop. Let me give here for n I equals 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. So basically what we have done here is we have initialized I to 0, this one, int I equals 0, right? Then while I is less than 5 here, I less than 5 we have given. So increment I by 1 each iteration. That's what we are doing here. I'll just give system.println. I'll just give for loop. Here, let me give plus I. What does this indicate? We are printing for loop followed by the value of I for the each iteration, right? This is it. This is the simple example for loop. Next, we'll be going with the while loop. I'll just comment this one and write while loop. So first, let's initialize j to 0. I'll just give and j equals 0. Next, let's loop while j is less than 5. I'll just make use of while j less than 5. So I'll just give, let's print while loop. Same thing, I'll just give plus I. Here what we are doing, we are printing the string while loop followed by the value of j, right? This has to be j. We have considered j, right? Sorry, this is not I basically. Here, let's increment j by 1. I'll just give j plus plus. This is the simple example of while loop. Next, let's continue with the do while loop. So I'll just comment this one and write do while loop. So here, let me initialize k to 0. Let's start the do while loop. Initially, I'll just give do. This is nothing but starting of the do while loop. I'll just print saying do while loop plus here I'll just give k. So what does that say? What we are doing here, we are just printing do while loop followed by the value of k. Next, let's increment the k by 1. How we'll do that one? Let's give k plus plus. So we are incrementing k by 1. Next, let's make use of while. When we are incrementing the value of k, while k is less than 5. That is nothing but we are looping while k is only less than 5. I'll just give k less than 5, right? Just comment this one and write for the reference. We are looping while k is less than 5, right? This looks good. Let me run the code. Let's wait for some time. So here you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the for loop. And while loop 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing. For the do while also we have to get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is it. And next we'll go with the arrays. This is it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Previously we had seen the loops, right? Nothing but for loop, while loop, as well as the do while loop. We had seen with the example. Now we'll continue with the arrays. Basically, what are arrays? arrays in Java stores the fixed size sequences of elements of the same type, enabling efficient data storage, retrieval, and manipulation through the index-based access, right? Let's see this one with a simple example. So what I'll do, I'll just come here. Let me come here and let me create new Java class and give the name array example. Click on and hit the enter, right? What we have done, we have defined a public class named array example. Let's define the main method as well, right? Let me give public static void main. Inside this one, let me give string args, right? We have defined the main method. Next, what I'll do, I'll declare and initialize an array of integers named myArray with the values 1 to 5. It is very simple. Let me give int. I'll just give the variable name myArray and let me give the values within the array, right? So here I'll just give 1, 2, 4 and 5. So what we have done, we have declared and initialized an array of integers named myArray with the values 1 to 5 basically. So next, what I want to do is, let's print the each element in the array using for loop. Let me comment over here and give print each element in the array using the for loop. Just come here. Let me give for int I equals 0, I less than this one. The variable name, I'll just copy this one. Let me paste it over here. So what happened here? Sorry. myArray, the length of the myArray, right? Let me give length as well. So what I have done, I have looped through the array starting at the index 0, nothing but this one, and continuing while I is less than the length of the array, nothing but this one, right? So next, what I'll do, let's print the element at index followed by the index and the value at that index. So I'll just give out. Let me give element at index. Just give plus I here. Let's concatenate. Here, what I have done here, and just give myArray of I, right? There is no need of this one. Yeah. Did I miss something? Just give me a second. Let me do one thing here. Let me give colon here. Right? This looks good now. Let's run the code and see. Let's wait for some time. So yeah, now you can see element at index 0, we are getting 1. Element at index 1, 2, 2, 3. Element at index 3, 4. And finally 4. This is 5. Everything is working correctly. Next, let's go with the classes and objects. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Previously, we went with the arrays, right? Now, we'll continue with the classes and objects, right? So, what are objects and classes? Object is a special entity. For example, let's consider the real world example where car is an object and car is a class and its objects are like whether if we may consider the clutch, we may consider the seat, we may consider the brake. These are all the objects of the car, right? This is one thing. What are classes? Basically, classes are the blueprints for creating the objects, encapsulating data and methods that define their behavior. So what are methods basically? Methods are reusable blocks of the code that perform specific tasks, enhancing the code modularity as well as the reusability. So let's understand by taking the simple example. So what I'll do, I'll just come here. Let me name this class example, or I'll just name this one dog. So here what I'll do, public class dog. What we have done, I have defined the public class named dog. Within this one, I'll just give string name. We have declared an instance variable named name, this one, and of the type string, right? So next, here what I have done, I have declared an instance variable named age of the type int, this one, right? Next, let's make use of the constructor method for the dog class. So let me comment over here. Let me write constructor method for the dog class. Here what I'll give, let me make use of public dog string. Within the string, let me give name, and we have considered int age, right? Here we have given the same thing. Sorry. So what we have done, we have defined a public constructor that takes name and age as parameters. This one, name as well as age. Next, we'll assign the parameter name as well as the age to the instances, to the instance variable name as well as age. So what I'll do, I'll just consider this dot name equals name. Here let me give this dot age equals age of this is it. Next, what I'll do, I'll just call the method to print the dog's detail. How we can do that? Let me make use of public void. I'll just define a public method named print details, right? I'll just give print details. So let me comment and write it over here for the reference. This is just the method to print the dog's details, right? So within this one, let me give this out. So name, here let me concatenate the name. Also, and just give me a second, let me give comma as well. After this, so where am I going wrong? Here, why this is not taken? So yeah, I'll just give age here. Let me concatenate the age as well. So what I have done here, we have printed name followed by the name and also age followed by the age. This looks good. Next, let's call the main method. I'll just give public static void main string as well as args. So within this, let me call dog, make use of the variable name my dog. New dog of, so let me give the name buddy and also age, let me give 3 here. So what we have done in this line, so let me give semicolon first. So what we have done in this line is we have created a new dog object. So this one, new dog object, right? And named my dog with the name buddy and age 3. We have named the name of the dog as buddy and age 3. Right? Next, what we'll do, we'll call the print details method on my dog to print its details finally. So for that, this one, my dog, here we have took this one, right? I'll just hit enter and call the print details method. So we have called the print details method on my dog, this one, to print its details finally. So everything looks good. Let's run the code to see the output. Let's wait for some time. So here you can see name we are getting Buddy, as well as age we are getting 3. So everything is working properly. Next, we'll go with the inheritance. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone. Previously, we went through methods, classes, and objects. Today, we'll be going through the inheritance. So what is inheritance? Inheritance allows subclasses to inherit properties and behaviors from the superclasses. It also promotes the code reuse hierarchy and facilitates complex system design. So let's understand this with the very basic example. So I'll just come here. Let me right click, hover on new, click on Java class. I'll just give the name inherit example, right? And hit the enter. What we have done here, we have defined the public class name inheritance example. Next, let's define the main method. I'll just give public static void main. I'll just give string and args within this one, right? So initially what I'll do, I'll just define the parent class named animal. I'll just give class animal. After defining the parent class named animal, let's define the public method named eat. So what I'll do, I'll just make use of public void eat. So after this, let's print this animal eats food, right? I'll just make use of the s out. I'll just give this animal eats food. So what we have done, we have defined a parent class named animal. Then we have defined a public method named eat here. Then finally, we have print this animal eats food by making use of s out, right? After this one, let's define a subclass named dog that inherits from animal. Let me comment this one and write for the reference. Define a subclass named dog that inherits from animal, right? So for this, I'll just make use of class dog. Let me give extends animal. Within this, let's define a public method named bar. For this one, I just give public void bar, right? Let me delete this one. Yeah, I'll just print using s out. Let me give the dog barks, right? So after this, what I'll do, within this one, here, I'll just create a new dog object named my dog. I'll give dog, my dog equals new dog. So here what we have done, we have created a new dog object named my dog. Now let's call the eat method from the animal class on my dog. Also, let's call the bark method from the dog class on my dog. I'll just make use of my dog dot eat. also my dog dot bar, right? This is it. Everything looks good. So what we are getting here, typo in the inheritance example. So just give me a second here. Let me right click, refactor. Let me give inheritance example. Yes. So basically it was a typo in the name. So I have just corrected this one. So this looks good. Now let's run the code. Let's wait for some time. So yeah, here you can see this animal eats food as well as the dog barks. So everything is working properly. Next, let's go with the polymorphism. This is it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Previously, we went through the inheritance, right? Today, we'll be going through the polymorphism in Java. Polymorphism enables the objects to be treated as instances of their superclass. It's also, it also provides flexibility in method implementation as well as behavior. So, let's see this with a simple example. So, what I'll do, I'll just come here, right click, over on new and click on Java class. I'll just give the name polymorphism example, right? Then hit enter. So here we have defined a public class named polymorphism example. Let's create the main method as well. I'll just give public static void main, right? Then this I'll just give string and arguments. Next, what I'll do, I'll just come here. Let me define the parent class named animal. I'll just give class animal, right? Here, inside the animal class, let's define a public method named makeSound. I'll just give public void makeSound. So what we have done here, we have defined a public method named makeSound. Inside the makeSound method, let's print by making use of sout, right? I'll just give sout. I'll just give a random text some sound. We are just printing some random text some sound, right? Next, what I'll do, let's define a subclass named dog that inherits from the animal. Here, define a subclass named dog that inherits from animal, right? So I'll just give class dog extends animal. Here, let's make use of the override, right? Let me do one thing. I'll just give here override. So what this indicates is this method overrides a method in the parent class. So I'll just give public void makeSound, right? We have made use of, just give a makeSound. Within makeSound, I'll just print bark. Let me give bark. Yeah, this is it. Next, I'll just come here. Sorry. let's define one more subclass named cat that inherits from the animal. For reference, I'll just comment this one and write define a subclass named cat that inherits from animal. So here what I'll do, I'll just give class cat extends animal. Let me make use of the override, right? Just give capital O here. Yeah. Override, nothing but it indicates that this method overrides a method in the parent class. For that one, I'll just give void make sound. This is nothing but we are overriding the make sound method here. In the previous example also, in the previous this one also, we have seen the same thing, right? Let's print meow this time. I'll just give s out. Let me print meow. I'll just come here, and now what I'll do, let's create a new animal object named myAnimal. I'll just give myAnimal equals new animal. So what we have done here, we have created a new animal object named myAnimal, nothing but this one. So after this one, let's create a new dog object named myDog, but reference it as an animal, right? So let's reference this as an animal. We give myDog equals new dog. So similarly, let's create the cat object as well named myCat, but reference it as an animal as well. I'll just give animal. I'll just call this one myCat. Hello, cat. So everything is good. What's wrong here? Capital C, right? Okay. So after this, let's call the make sound method on myAnimal that prints some sound, bark as well as meow, right? So I'll just give myAnimal make sound. What we have done here, what we are doing here, we are calling the make sound method on myAnimal that prints some sound. Similarly, we'll call the make sound method on myDog that prints bark, as well as let's call the make sound method on myCat as well that prints meow, right? I will just give myDog make sound. Let's make use of myCat and make sound. So yeah, this is it. This looks good, right? So did I miss out anything? Nothing, right? So yeah, this looks good. Let's run the code. Let's wait for some time. So yeah, see here, at the end, what we are getting, some sound, bark, as well as the meow, right? So everything is working properly. Next, let's go with the interfaces, right? This is it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Previously, we went through the polymorphism, right? So today, we'll be going through the abstract classes and interfaces. So basically, what are abstract classes and interfaces? Abstract classes and interfaces define methods without implementation. So basically, again, I'm telling you, abstract classes and interfaces define methods without implementations. So it facilitates blueprint-like structures and multiple inheritances, right? So let's see this one with a very simple example. So what I'll do, I'll just come here right click here, hover on new, click on Java class. I'll just give the name interface example, right? And hit on the enter, right? So what we have done here, we have defined a public class named interface example. Next, as always, let's create the main method. So I'll just give public static void main. Let me give string args, right? So what I'll do initially, I just come here. Let me define an interface named animal. Again, I'm telling you, let's define an interface named animal. For the reference, I'll just I'll just comment this one and write define an interface named animal, right? We give interface animal. This is fine. Within the interface, let's declare an abstract method named make sound. For that one, I'll just make use of void. Let's declare an abstract method named make sound, right? Just give void make sound. So this is it. Next, what we'll do, we'll define a class named dog that implements the animal interface. So, or let me do one thing. Let me comment this one and write for the reference. It will be easy to understand. Define a class named dog that implements the animal interface, right? So I'll just give class dot implements animal. So we have already called, we have already defined the interface named animal, right? So I'll just come here. Within this, let's make use of override, right? So this is capital O. So why override? Why we are making use of override? So this basically indicates that this method implements a method from the animal interface. So I'll just give public make sound. Make sound. Let's just make sound. So here we are implementing the make sound method here. So let's print some random text. I'll just make use of sout and give bar, right? So this is it. Next, let's define a class named cat that implements the animal interface as well. Here we have defined a class named dog that is implementing the animal interface. Now we are just defining another cat that implements the animal interface as well. This one, nothing but here we have made use of we have defined the interface named animal, right? I'll just let me comment this one and write so that it will be easy to understand. Define a class named cat that implements the animal interface, right? I'll just copy same thing over here. Let's make the necessary changes. I'll just copy this one, or let me type class cat implements animal. Again, let use override again. Why we are making use of override? Override basically indicates that this method implements a method from the animal interface, nothing but this one, right? Next, let's implement the make sound method again. I'll just give public void make sound. So here I'll just print some random text by making use of sout, right? Here previously we printed bar. For the cat I'll just give meow, right? So this is it for now. Next, I'll just come here. Here what I'll do, we have defined a public class named interface example, as well as we have defined method, right? Next, what I'll do, let's create a new dog object named my dog, but reference it as an animal. Similarly, we'll do for the cat as well, right? So I'll just give. So what is wrong here? Yeah, sorry. Animal, my dog, new. So we have created a new dog object named my dog, this one here, but we are referencing it as an animal, right? This one, we are making use of animal here. And also, let's create a new cat object. So how we'll do that? I'll just give animal, my cat, and I'll just give new cat, right? What we have done here, similarly, right? It's very similar. I mean, we have created a new cat object named my cat, but we are referencing it as an animal, right? After this one, what I'll do, let's call the make sound method on my dog that prints bark. Let me give my dog dot make sound. Simple. What we have done here, we have called the make sound method on my dog that is printing dark, right? Also, let's call the make sound method on my cat as well, that prints meow. I'll just make use of my cat dot make sound, right? This is it. This looks good. Let me check once. Yeah. Let's run the code. Yeah. Let's wait for some time. So yeah, you can see here what we have done finally. So making use of it, we have called the make sound method on my dog, as well as we called the make sound method on my cat. So this is printing bark as well as meow. Everything is working correctly. Next, we'll be going with the exception handling, right? This is it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Today, previously we went through the abstract classes and interfaces, right? Today we'll be going through the exception handling. So what does exception handling do? So exception handling manages errors, right, during the program execution. So it also ensures graceful error recovery and the prevention of program from crashing. So let's see this with a very simple example. So I'll just come here. Let me right click, hover on new and create a new Java class, right? I'll just give exception handling. Just give me a second. Example, right? Let me hit the enter button. So what happened here? And class exception handling example is never used. I'll do one thing. I'll just come here, recover, rename. We'll just make the H capital for now. Click on yeah. So what I'll do, what we have done here, we have defined a public class named exception handling example. Next, let's create the main method, right? I'll just give public static void main. Let me give string right? So we have called the main method. After within this one, what I'll do, let's start the try block. So try, catch and finally are the exception handling methods we are using, right? So I'll just initially let's make use of the try block. I'll just give int my array equals, let me give some random numbers. I'll just give 1, 2 and 3. So here what we have done, we have declared and initialized an array of integers named my array, right? This one. So then next what I'll do, I'll just try to print the value at index 3. So basically index 3 doesn't exist here, right? Index starts from 0 basically. Here the 0, 1, 2 until we have until the index 2. But let's try to print the value of at the index 3 basically, which it doesn't exist, right? So I'll just make use of s out and print my array of 3 within the array, right? So next let's make use of the catch. Basically what we'll do, catch block, we are making use of the catch block for the array index out of bounds exception. So I'll just give array index out of bound exception. Let me give e here. Next let's print the error message. I'll just, in my case, I'll just give array index is out of bounds, right? This is one thing. Next let's make use of the finally block. So basically let's print some message indicating that this is the end of try catch block, right? I'll just make use of s out. What shall I give? Let me give the try catch block is finished, something like that. Yeah, this is fine. Did I miss anything? No, right? So this looks good. Let's run the code. Let's wait for some time. So you can see that array index is out of bounds. Why we are getting this message? Basically we are trying to print the value at the index 3, which does not exist. So we are getting the message array index is out of bounds, and finally the try catch block is finished. So this is working properly. Next we'll go with the file input and output. For now this is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Previously we had seen what exception handling is. So today we'll be continuing with the file handling input and output, right? So before getting into the file handling, let's understand what packages are. So basically we'll be making use of packages, right? Here in this example as well as in the future example. So packages organize classes into namespaces, aiding code management, reusability, and preventing naming conflicts, right? So let's understand what strings are. By this time you should be knowing what strings are. Basically strings are sequence of characters used to store and manipulate text-based data efficiently in Java. So next let's understand what file handling is. File handling basically involves reading from and writing to files, enabling data storage and retrieval for applications. So let's understand this one with a very simple example. So what I'll do, I'll just come here, let me right click, let me hover on new, let me create the new Java class, right? So I'll just name this file IO, nothing but input output example, right? So let me make this E capital. Everything looks good. Yeah, I'll just hit the enter. So let's wait for some time. Yeah. So here what we have done, we have defined a public class named file IO example. Next, let's define the main method. Just give like, oh, it's lagging a lot. It's fine. Also let me give args, right? So we have defined the main method. Now let's start try block, right? I'll just keep try. Within this, let's write to a file. Let me comment this one and write to a file just for the reference. So let me give file writer. So you can see whenever when I clicked on file writer, this got imported, right? Instead of this, we can do one more thing. What I'll do, I'll just give import java.io start. So basically what we have done here, this is nothing but we have imported the class from the java.io package, right? So here file writer, I'll just make use of the writer. Let me give new file writer. I'll just name the file, output.txt, right? So what I have done here, we have created a file writer object. First, this one, file writer object, to write to the output.txt file, right? This one. Next, what we'll do, let's write some random sentence to the file. Nothing but the output.txt file, right? So I'll just make use of writer.write of. I'll just give hello, I am Bharadwaj. So what is wrong with this? No. Typo. This is fine. After this, let's close the writer using writer.close, right? So next, this is nothing but we have written this sentence to the output.txt file. Next, let's read from the file. I'll just comment here and write read from the file for the reference. I'll make use of file reader this time. Basically, I'll just give file reader. Let me call this reader new file reader of, we are reading from what text? I mean output.txt file, right? So what we have done here, we have created a file reader object to read from the output.txt file. Next, let's create a buffer reader object for efficient reading. How we can do that? Just come here. Let me give buffered reader. Just give me a second. Buffered reader. We use new buffered reader of reader. So what we have done here, we have created a buffer reader object for efficient reading. So next, let me loop through each line of the file. I'll just make use of while loop. I'll just give line equals buffered reader dot. Let's make use of the read line. If this is not equal to null, then let's print the line. I'll just make use of the s out. I'll just give line, right? So what is wrong with the line basically here? Just give me a second. So here I forgot to this one, declare a string variable, right? So I'll just give here string line. So now this has to work. So what we have done here, we have declared a string variable to hold each line that is read from the file, right? So now this has to work properly. I missed this one basically. After this one, let's close the reader. How we can close the reader? I'll just give reader dot closed. So next, if we are facing any error, we have to print the error message, right? For that one, I'll be making use of the catch block. I'll just give catch IO exception. I'll make use of, just call E. This is nothing but the catch block for IO input output exception. I'll just make use of S out and print the message. I'll just give an error occurred, right? This is one thing. What we have done here, we have printed the error message. Next, let's print the stack trace of the exception as well by making use of E dot print stack trace. This one. Yeah. This looks good. Just give me a second. Yeah. Did I miss anything? All right. This looks good. Let's run the code. So what we are writing here, hello, I am Bharadwaj, right? We have to get hello, I am Bharadwaj in the output. Let's wait and see. So yeah, we are getting here hello, I am Bharadwaj. So everything works properly. Next, we'll be going through the generics. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Previously, we had seen what exception handling is, right? So today, we'll be going with generics. So what is generics? Generics allow classes and methods to work with different types of data, ensuring type safety as well as the code reusability. So let's see this one with a very simple example so that you'll understand clearly. So what I'll do, I'll just come here. Let me right click, hover on new and click on Java class. Let me give the name generics example, right? Let me hit the enter. So next, what we have done here, we have defined a public class named generics example. Next, let's create the main method as well. Let's define the main method. I'll just give public static void main. Let me give string as well as bugs as well, right? So we have defined the main method. Next, what I'll do, let's create the array list to hold the string objects. So the simple thing is, let me give array list. So here you can see automatically this got imported. Nothing but we have imported the array list class from the Java util package. So I'll just give array list. Within this, let me give string. Also here let me give string list. So equals new array list of, right? So what we have done here, we have created a array list. This one, we have created an array list to hold the string objects. So let's add some strings to the string list, right? So for that one, what I'll do, I'll just make use of string list. We have already given here dot add of. You can give anything, random text within the string. I'll just give hello in this case. Let me copy the same thing. Let me come here. Let me paste it over here. Instead of hello, I'll just give Bharadwaj. This is fine. For now, this is fine. So basically what we have done here is, initially, if I come here, we have created an array list to hold the string objects, right? This line. Next, what we have done, we have added hello to the string list, initially this one. And here we have added Bharadwaj to the string list. Next, what we'll do, we'll loop through each string in the string list. Let me make use of the for loop. I'll just come here. Let me give string str. me give string list. This is fine. What we are doing here, we are looping through each string in the string list. And what shall be print? I just make use of s out and let's print the str. Nothing but string, right? So this is fine. This looks good. Let's run the code. What output we have to get? We have to get hello and Bharadwaj, right? Let me run the code. So you can see here, we are getting the output hello and Bharadwaj. So everything looks good. So next we'll be going through collections. So for now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Previously, we had seen what generics is, right? So today we'll be going through the collections. Basically, when I say collections, it's we are dealing with list, set and map, right? So what are collections? Collections store and manipulate group of objects offering data structures like lists, sets and maps for the efficient data handling. So we'll see this one with a very simple example by making use of array list and hash map, right? So what I'll do, I'll just come here. Let me right click over on new, click on Java class. I'll just give collections example, right? I'll just click, I'll just hit the enter. What we have done here, I have defined a public class named collections example. Next, let me define the main method as well, right? I'll just give public static void main string, right? So next, what we'll do, let's start with the array list example. I'll just comment this one and write here array list example, right? Just for the reference so that we'll get to know easily. So first what I'll do, let me make use of the array list. I'll just come here, this one. So you can see here, we have imported the array list class from the Java util package. So after this one, let me give here string, let me give string list equals new array list, right? So here, what we have done here, we have created an array list to hold string objects. Next, let's add some string to the string list, right? Let me give string list dot add. What shall we add within the strings? Let's add the random fruits name, right? I'll just give apple. What we have done, we have added the apple to the string list. Let's add two more fruits name, right? I'll just give string list dot add of, make it banana. So what is wrong here? Okay. We give string list dot add cherry, right? So what we have done here, we have added apple, banana and cherry to the string list. Next, let's loop through the each string in the string list. For that, I'll be making use of for. Let me give string str string list. So here, what we have done, what we are doing, we are looping through each string in the string list. And let's print the fruit followed by the string, right? str, nothing but str. I'll just make use of s out. I'll just give here fruit. Let's concatenate the str, right? So this is one thing. Next, what shall we do? Let's see with the hash map example as well, right? So here, if I run the code now, let's see. So we are getting fruit apple, fruit banana, and fruit cherry. This is working correctly, right? Next, let's see with the hash map example as well. I'll just give hash map example just for the reference so that we'll get to know easily, right? So what I'll do, I'll just give app. So here you can see we have imported the map interface from the Java util package, this one. So I'll just give here map. Let me give string, also integer, right? Integer. We give fruit calories here. Create a new hash map. You can see here. So what we have done, we have imported the hash map class from the Java util package as well. So what we have done here, I just miss semicolon, I think. Yeah. So we have created a hash map to hold the string, keys, and integer values, right? Next, let's add the key value pair to the fruit calories map. How can we do that? I'll just come here. Let me make use of fruit calories dot. Let's make use of put. In the put, I'll just give what we are doing. We are adding the key value pair, right? I'll just give apple, and let me give the value, some random value. I'll just give 95. Then what I'll do, I'll just come here and do same thing with the two other fruits, right? Let me make use of put again. Here, instead of apple, I'll just give banana, and let me give 105. Finally, let me make use of the fruit calories, sorry. Let me make use of put. Here, let me give cherries. Let me give 50. So what we have done, we have added a key value pair, apple, and the this one, right? Some random number, and also with the banana and cherry to the fruit calories map. So finally, what I'll do, let's loop each entry in the loop through each entry in the fruit calories. How we can do? We'll be making use of for loop. I'll just give map dot entry string integer. I'll just give entry here. Let me give fruit calories entry set. Right? This is fine. What we are doing here, we are looping through each entry in the fruit calories, right? Next, let's print the key and its corresponding value. How we can do that? I'll just make use of sout for this. Sorry. Make it sout. What we are doing here, we are printing the key and its corresponding value, right? Initially, what I'll do, I'll just give entry dot get key plus, let's concatenate as, also let's concatenate the value as well, right? I just give entry get value plus, here let's concatenate the string calories. This. So this is good. So did I miss anything? This is fine, right? Yeah. Let's run the code now. So initially we are getting fruit, apple, fruit, banana, and fruit, cherry, right? This one for this example, array list example. For this one hash map example, we are getting banana has 105 calories, apple has 95 calories, as well as cherries has 50 calories, right? So just give me a second. Yeah, everything is working properly. Next, let's go with the multi-threading in Java. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello, everyone. Previously, we went through collections, right? So today, we'll be continuing with the concurrency. So basically, what is concurrency? Concurrency manages multiple tasks executing simultaneously, improving program efficiency and responsiveness through the thread management. So this we will understand with a very simple example, right? Let's understand the multi-threading. Let's understand the concurrency with the multi-threading example. So what I'll do, I'll just come here. Let me right click here, hover on new, click on Java class. Let me just give me a second. Let me give multi-threading example, right? I'll just hit enter. So what I have done here, we have defined a public class named multi-threading example. Next, as usual, we'll be defining the main method. I'll just give public static void main. Let me give string and r, right? So here, after this, what I'll do, I'll just come here. What I'll do, let's define a class named myThread that extends the thread class, right? So let me comment this one and write here for the reference. Define a class named myThread that extends the thread class. I'll just give class myThread extends thread, right? So here, let me make use of the override. Basically, I'll just give here, alright. This indicates that this method overrides a method in the thread class, right? So I'll just come here. Let me make use of public void run. Basically, what we are doing here, we are overriding the run method to define the code that has to be executed by the thread. Next, let's loop 5 times, right? Here, I'll just make use of the for loop. Let me give int I equals 0, I less than 5, and just increment the I. We are looping 5 times. Next, let's print the thread ID and the current value of I. I'll just make use of sout for that. I'll just give thread current thread. I'll just give get ID. Let's concatenate the value as well, right? Within the strings so that this looks good. Let me give space here also along with the I. So what we have done here, anything wrong here? Let's look at it. This is fine, no worries. What we are doing, we are printing the thread ID and the current value of I, right? So this is it. Next, I'll just make use of the try block. Let me use try, and within the try, let's pause the execution for 500 milliseconds. I'll just give thread dot sleep off and give 500, right? Next, if any error occurs, right? So we have to print the error. For that purpose, I'll be making use of catch block. I'll just come here. Let me give. So anything wrong here? Yeah, interrupted exception I'll give. Let me just call E here. So here I'll just print the stack trace if an interrupted exception occurs. How we can do that? I'll just keep e dot print stack trace, right? This one. So what we are doing here, we are printing the stack trace if an interrupted exception occurs. So basically I'll explain again. Initially what we have done, we have defined a class named myThread that extends the thread class, this one. Next we have made use of this one override by which basically indicates that this method overrides a method in the thread class. Alright, next one, public void run, we are overriding the run method to define the code to be executed by the thread, this one, run. Basically next we have loop 5 times, then we have just print the thread ID and current value of I, right here, this one. After that we have made use of try and catch block. Basically within the try, what we are doing, we are pausing the execution for 500 milliseconds here. This one, by in the catch block, what we are doing, we are printing the stack trace if an interrupted exception occurs, right? This is it for this one. Next I'll just come here. Let's create the new threads, basically T1 and T2. I'll just give my thread T1 new. Just make use of my thread again. We are basically creating the new threads T1 and T2, right? I'll just copy the same thing. Sorry. Here instead of T1, let me give T2, right? We have created the new threads T1 and T2. Next, let's start the first and second thread. How we can do that? And just come here, T1 dot start. Also, let me give T2 dot start. So this is it. So what is it showing here? Typo in the word multi-threading example. So I'll just come here. Where is this one? This one, right? Just come here, refactor. Sorry. Rename file. Just give me a second. Come here, make this one. Yeah. Let me. So class multi-thread is public, should be declared in the file. Example. That's what we have done, right? So here also let me change this one. So now everything looks fine. What happened to this? Typo in the word my thread. So just give me a second. Yeah, we have to give capital T, right? So sorry. So, what happened here? Cannot resolve symbol my thread. So yeah, I'll just change this one as well to capital T. Sorry. This one as well. Here also it has to be capital T, capital C, capital T. Sorry, yeah. Now everything looks good. Did I miss anything? No, right? So yeah, let me run the code. Let's wait for some time. So yeah, you can see 15, value 0, 16, value 0. You can keep on seeing value 1, value 2, 3, and finally 4. 0 to 4 we are printing, right? Basically. So this is the output that we are getting is correct. So this is it. Next, we'll be seeing, we'll be going through the lambda expressions. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello everyone. Previously, we went through the concurrency, right? Today, we'll continue with the lambda expressions. Basically, what are lambda expressions? Lambda expressions provide concise syntax for defining anonymous methods, enhancing code readability, as well as functional programming capabilities. So we'll say this with a very simple example, right? So what I'll do, I'll just come here. Let me right click, hover on new and create the new Java class. Let's wait for some time. I'll just give this, just give the name lambda exam. Okay, let me hit the enter. So yeah, what we have done here, we have defined a public class named lambda example, right? Next, as usual, we'll be defining the main method, right? Let me give, why this is hanging so much. Let's wait for some time. Let me continue. Meh. So after defining the main method, what I'll do, let's create an array list to hold the string objects. I'll just give array list, right? Here, I'll just mention string. Let me give the name string list, right? Here, we give a new array list, right? Just give me a second. So this is lagging so much. I don't know why. What we have done here, we have created an array list to hold the string objects. Now let's add some random fruits to the string list, right? So what I'll do, I'll just come here. Let me give stringlet dot add of within the string. Let me give apple. Let's add some more fruits, right? Just give me a second. I'll just paste the same thing twice. Here, instead of apple, I'll just change this one to banana. Here, I'll just change this one to cherry, right? So what we have done, we have added the apple, banana and cherry to the string list. Next, what I'll do, here you can see one more thing. We have imported the array list class from the Java util package as well. To make use of the array list, we have to import the array list from the Java util package. And now let's use the lambda expression to print each element in the string list. So I'll just comment here so that it is easy to understand. Just for the reference, right? I'll just use the lambda expression to print each element in the string list, right? What I'll do, just give string list. I'll just make use of for each. Within the for each, let me consider str. Then I'll just make use of sout and let's print the str, right? So did I miss anything? No, right? So this looks good. Let me run the code. Let's wait for some time. So yeah, you can see here one by one, right? The name of the fruits. Initially, you are saying apple, the first one, banana, the second one, and the cherry, the third one, right? This is working completely correct. Next, let's go with the streams. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello, everyone. Previously, we had seen what lambda expressions are, right? Today, we'll continue with the streams. Basically, what are streams in Java? Streams are a sequence of elements supporting sequential and parallel aggregate operations, right? Basically, they were introduced in Java 8. They enable functional style operations on collections of elements. Example, like you can consider map produce transformations, right? Streams also allow for the processing of data in a declarative manner using methods like filter, map, reduce, and others, enabling concise and readable code, right? This we'll see with a very simple example. This is very easy to understand. Basically, let's see this with a example. So what I'll do, I'll just come here. Let me right click over on new, click on Java class, right? I'll just give here streams example. I'll just make this one capital E. Just hit a end. What we have done here, we have defined a basic public class named streams example, right? Next, as usual, let's define the main method. We give public static void main, right? String x. After defining the main method, what I'll do, I'll just create a list to hold the string objects. So I'll just give list, right? So what we have done here, we have, you can see here, we have imported the list interface from the Java util package. Next, I'll do one thing. Here we add string. We name this one string list. New array list, right? So here, in simple terms, what we have done, we have created a list to hold the string objects, right? So first, let's add some random fruit names using the string list dot add. I'll just give string list add. I'll just give apple in this case. So here we have to give within the string, right? So yeah, I'll just copy this one. Let me paste this one. Sorry, what's happening? 5 times, right? I'll just change the names of the fruits. Here, instead of apple, I'll just give banana. Instead of apple, I'll just change this one to cherry. Instead of apple, I'll just make this one apricot. The final one, I'll just name this one blueberry. Right? One more fruit I can take. This is enough. I'll just remove this one. So what we have done, we have added the apple, banana, cherry, apricot and blueberry to the string list. Next, what we'll do, let's make use of the streams to filter and collect elements that starts with the letter A, right? So I'll just comment this one for the reference so that we understand clearly. Use stream to filter and collect elements that starts with the letter A, right? For that, what I'll do, I'll just give list, but then this I'll just give string. Let me give the name filter list. Let's make use of string list dot. Let's make use of string, right? So here, one thing, something I'm missing, right? Let's see. I'll just write this thing in the next line. Let me make use of filter. Here. Let's make use of starts with. Let me give A, right? Also, let me make use of collect. Within the collect, I'll just make use of collectors. collectors.toList I'll make use of. Yeah. Finally, let's print the each element in the filtered list. How we can do this? I'll just make use of filter list. This has to be filtered list, right? I'll just change the name here to filtered list. Here also, let me change this one to filtered list, right? Let me make use of for each. Sorry, here let me give system dot println. So what we are doing here, we are printing the each element in the filtered list, right? So this looks good. So basically you can observe here one thing, we have imported the collectors class from the Java util stream package, this one, right? Again I'm telling, we have imported the collectors class from the Java util stream package, right? Did I miss anything? What is this? Blueberry. Yeah, let me do one thing. This looks good. Let's run the code. Let's wait for some time. So you can see the output apple and apricot, right? Why we are getting the apple and apricot? Here we have made use of the streams, yeah, to filter and collect elements that starts with the letter A, basically, right? So that is the reason we are getting the output apple and apricot. So everything is working correctly, right? Next, let's go with the annotations in Java. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello, everyone. Previously, we had seen what streams are, right? So now we'll continue with the annotations in Java, right? So what are annotations? Annotations provide metadata about classes, methods, or fields. Basically, it enables runtime processing and enhancing the code readability as well as the maintainability, right? Let's see this with a very simple example. So I'll just come here, let me right click, hover on new and create the Java class, right? I'll just give annotations example. Let me hit enter. What we have done here, we have defined a public class named annotations example. Next, as usual, we'll create the main method, right? Public static void main. Just give args here. So what I'll do, initially I'll define a class named deprecated example. So I'll just come here. For the reference, I'll just write define a class named deprecated. This is fine. Deprecated example, right? I'll do one thing. I'll just copy this one. Class, what we're doing, we're defining a class name deprecated example, right? I'll just paste the same thing here. Here, let me make use of the annotation deprecated. So I'll just give deprecated. Basically, what this does is, it marks the method as deprecated, right? I'll just give public void old method. Yeah. So what I have done here, we have defined. So what we have done here, we have defined an old method, right? And let's print some random relevant message. I'll just give the method is deprecated in my case, right? So what we have done here, we have defined a class named deprecated example. basically we have made use of the annotation at deprecated. What this does is it marks the method as deprecated, right? So after that, what we have done, we have defined an old method and we have printed a random this one, a random message. In my case, I have given the method is deprecated, right? So next, what I'll do, I'll just come here and let's create an instance of deprecated example. How we can do that? I'll just give deprecated example. Let me call this one example. And let me give new. Sorry, this has to be capital D, right? Deprecated example. So what we have done here, we have created an instance of deprecated example. Now, after this, let's call the deprecated deprecated method, right? So I'll just give example dot old method, right? This one. So did I miss anything? No, right? Everything is correct. So let's run the code. Let's wait for some time. So we are getting the output. The method is deprecated, right? So again, I'll tell what we have done. So initially, we have defined a public class named here, annotations example, and we have called this one, main method. After that, what we have done, we have defined a class named deprecated example here. We have made use of the annotation deprecated, which marks the method as deprecated. After that, we have defined an old method here, and we have just printed some random relevant message to this example, right? After that, inside this one, what we have done, we have created an example, instance of deprecated example, finally calling the deprecated method, this one. So the output we are getting is correct, right? The method is deprecated. This is working completely correct. So next, let's go with the enums. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hello, everyone. Previously, we had seen what annotations are, right? So today, we'll continue with the enums, right? Enums, what are enums? Basically, enums define a set of named constants representing discrete values. Again, I'm telling you, enums define a set of named constants representing discrete values, enhancing code readability as well as type safety. Let's see this with a very simple example. So I'll just come here. Let me right click and hover on new and click on Java class, right? I'll just give the name enums example. So what we have done here, initially we have defined a public class name enums example, right? So after this, let me define an enum named day. I'll just give enum day. Within this, I'll just give the enum constants, nothing but Sunday to Saturday, right? Let me type this quickly. And I'll just do one thing. Let me give the caps lock. So yeah, what we have done here, initially we have defined a public class named enums example. So next one, we have defined an enum named day. Then we have defined enum constants, right? Nothing but from Sunday to Saturday. After this, what we'll do, let's define the main method. So I'll just come here after this one, right? Just come here. Let me give public void main, right? Within this, I'll just give string along with args. Right? We have defined the main method. Next, let's create the instance of the day enum named today and assign it to the value day, right? Sunday, basically. I'll just give day today equals day dot, let me give Sunday here, right? So where is Sunday? This one. So what we have done here, we have created an instance of the day enum named today and assigned it to the value day dot Sunday, right? So next, let's make use of the switch statement based on the value of today. So I'll just give switch here. Within the switch, let me call today, right? So what we have done here, we have switched the statement based on the value of today. Let me make use of the case now. Case initially Monday. Instead of this one, let me make use of the colon, right? Let's print the message if today is Monday. Let me give today is Monday, right? After this one, let me make use of break. So the same thing I'll do for Friday and Sunday as well, right? So I'll just copy the same thing. Let me come here. I'll just copy from here, right? And just give me a second. Let's continue. Just give me a second. Sorry. Let me paste it over here. Again. Let me paste it over here. One more time. Let me paste it over here. Instead of Monday, let me give Friday. Here also, let me change this one to Friday, right? Here, let me make this, let me take Sunday itself, right? And here also, let me make this one Sunday. So finally, instead of case Monday, let's give default, right, at the end. So after default, here, let's print a message for any other day. This one, I'll just give this one weekday instead, right? Let me weekday. There is no need of break here, right? I'll just remove this one. So did I miss anything? No, right? So yeah, this is it. Let's run the code. Let's wait for some time. So what we are getting are expected. So yeah, here I missed the column, right? So let's run again. So we are getting today is Sunday, right? So yeah, today is Sunday. Yeah, this is working correctly. So basically, this is it for the absolute beginners tutorial, right? Next, let's continue with the projects, right? So for now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.